Oh, welcome back my gardening friends. Well, you've just seen me preparing the carrots. Now I use cocoa coir as a mulch. The worms, because I've been tapping the ground, there's the soil. The worms have been popping the reds out, bless them. But yeah, the soil under here is quite moist, but let's say the worms are everywhere, look. Let's pop them in the hole. Yeah, so soaked it now, the bed there, and it'll get a bit more because this cocoa coir is still dry underneath, look, but the moisture that's in the ground will soak into that. I'll be taking a little bit of this out, putting some shop bought compost in to place 4 seeds at each station, exactly the same as I do with the carrots. So let's get on with the tour of plot 3. The end of April 2022. You may have noticed that there was a little jump. I tried to put you back exactly the same place, but the wind from the east is blowing a gale, and you'll probably pick up some wind noise like you did on the plot 1 tour. But please remember, thumbs up, thumbs down before you go. It does help me, and at the end or during the video leave me a comment. Right, let's start with the fruit cage, plot 3. We're just in the path there, and you might be able to see quite a large hole there. I need to get that sewn up. The blackbirds do get in, they can't get out, and they just dive bomb it. And yeah, just some repairs there. We'll have a little look inside. We were lucky enough to have enough time to get these straps sorted, and I'm trying to move the branches so that they sit on top and they don't sag down. As these get longer, we may be able to pop them up, but like I said, this wind is quite rough. I did notice that all last year's berries that fell on the floor are all growing nicely, so you could quite easily create your own bushes, and the berries are just started to form now, and you can see already they're starting to take over, but these here have been placed on top, so as soon as these get a little bit longer we can do the same. The blueberry flowers are doing really well, and it looks like we've got gooseberries forming there. So these branches are growing quite well now, and you may be able to see, if I can find out where I'm pointing to. I can't see whether you can see, oh you might be able to just there, and at least I'll be able to get to them, because normally they just all drape all over the floor. Hopefully I can raise these up when they get a little bit longer. And again, there's loads and loads of baby plants I need to get pulled out. Summer fruiting raspberries, again, I know it's getting warmer, but this easterly wind's biting cold, especially when the sun goes in. These are the white currants, and this is the one that we took from the mother plant. We just took a branch, 1-year-old branch, and just popped it in the ground, and out of 2, as you can see, again, the brown is the old wood and the lighter colour is the new wood, so when you're pruning it's quite easy. I've got rid of all the weeds from here, the dock, etc. Just need to pull that poppy out while we're here. Gets left on the ground to rot down to help feed the bushes. The raspberries are still trying to escape out the top, so I'm going to pull those down now and try and tie them in, because once they escape out the top it's very difficult to pull them through without doing the damage. Still haven't managed to get any wood chips, but all the wood chips out of the fruit cage, which are 3-year-old, are stacked behind the square foot gardening beds, and they'll come in really useful for the compost mixes in May. Just a quick stroll along the square foot gardening. I'm supposed to put down what's in there. I think I got this one right. But so this one here will be the spinach Amazon F1. This is the only bed that I've got. I can take some leaves today off these. We've managed to get a few more things planted into these. Any frosted leaves we've removed, so hopefully they can concentrate on producing new growth. Nothing yet on the vertical garden because we won't put nothing there till towards the end of May, till the last frosts. So this is my asparagus bed. On plot 1 we had a volunteer and that grew. We let it go to seed one year and this is the result of it. Some of them are spindly, some of them are thick, so I think we can get rid now at the end of the season. The volunteer, so I can get the water barrels in. So I've been leaving the spindly ones, let it build the crown, but just taking a few spears, and we'll do that for 6 weeks. So at the end of May I'll stop harvesting. I do need to do something with the underground worm farms. Again, we need more material and I've got to make up the cardboard. Again, it's something I should have done, but hey ho, can only do so much. Weed as we go. Permanent bean bed. The wind's played havoc with all the cardboard. The onions from out the grow room have now perked up, and there's a little bit more life in the beetroot. Planted most of the brassicas in these 2 beds here. Popped a bit of lime in the hole and just topped it off. And here you can see a line of eggshells and a line of coffee grounds, just a deterrent for the slugs. We'll get some more of that today. These are some of the potatoes we took out of the permanent bed, and this is the soil from the permanent bed. I'll show you shortly. This bed hasn't got anything in it. It's the next one up from the asparagus, other than having the original perennial kale that I had sent me by one of my viewers. So this was the permanent potato bed. I've managed to bag some of the soil up, and we're hoping to have single pallet collars high, 2 across here and along there, so that'll make us another 8 low beds, maybe for the beans. So in April we've managed to get the parsnips Gladiator F1 sown, 4 seeds per station. I've put the extra pallet collar on top to stop the wind blowing them over, but Brian suggested putting a cane through them. Those small green canes are ideal to stop them blowing over, so that's what I'll do with the carrots. I've moved and emptied the other pallet collar that had the parsnips in, and new for this year I'm doing lining at the bottom there and then lining it again, so the weight of the soil at the bottom pushing down and ripping the plastic like on another pallet collar. Then we wrap another sheet of plastic and overlap it, so hopefully we won't get the issues like that over there. So I've put the 4 barrels here like I said it was going to, but the 4 barrels used to be at the end of the permanent potato bed, but everything's gravity fed now, so I don't have to pump water all the way down the allotment like I used to. This is mainly from the polytunnel. Those 4 barrels have got water in now. I'll stack those on top of the others because I don't need access to those, but I don't know what's going to happen when they start dropping water levels, but I can drop those water levels into there to help. And so basically I've just done a quick gravity siphoning method, and filling these 2 barrels up has dropped the main run from there all the way across there and all the way up there to here. Hopefully they're all working because that one's dropped down as well. These 2 barrels are full here as well at the end of the polytunnel. We've got these 2 here as well. We may be using those for gravity water systems in the future. But now I've got easy access to the water. I can walk up that side if I hadn't got those bags to those there. And now I can just walk to here. And if I wanted to in the future, I could get a submersible pump and water with the pump. But I like to know how much water I put on. I don't want to put too much because the water levels can go down very easily. They're splitting nicely. Grizzly shorts, again, some of those look like they're doing okay, some aren't doing as well. Grizzly shallots, again, they look like they're splitting well. The Priya looks nice and healthy. I'm going to be taking a few smaller shoots off those for salads. Alan's walking onions, I thought, oh no, they're going to seed, but they're supposed to, silly. The actual bulbs actually form at the top, the tips like the seed does, hangs down, touches the floor, roots down, and off it goes. They're walking onions. The elephant garlic always does really well, always save the best clothes, and then the red Russian garlic has also done really well. So I shall continue to grow all of these. So if you haven't seen the pallet collars, these are 4 high. They sit on those lips that would normally sit on top of pallets to carry heavy items. You can see there they're lined, but the soil pushes it out and then drags the plastic down, which rips the top. Well, not rips it, but comes away and it sinks down. So none of this is touching the ground, it's lined, and I'm hoping they will last a lifetime, or my lifetime anyway. So I'm now facing the east, where we've been having these winds, and it's flipped this one up, and it's broke the hinges and everything else. We've had damage before, but that's my fault. The support fell through it. They're very, very brittle, very, very brittle, very hard to cut. So it looks like I'm going to have to invest in some more sheets because I can't afford to lose too much water. So we've got 5 barrels here, which comes off the compost bins or storage bins. I need to take more water from here because if we get any more rainwater, I don't want them to overflow. Not this time of the year, we can't afford it. And I wish now that I'd done the wick system on this to keep this topped up. Because when you water carrots, they do tend to flop over. But we've resown them with some more seeds in between, so hopefully they'll grow nicely. More pallet collar beds, nothing where you can see the cardboard. There's Marie Curry's broad beans, the crimson. If nothing else, the flowers are absolutely gorgeous. Everything including the kitchen sink, that's going to be the wash down sink. And there's the field beans I'm saving for seed. Just a selection of lettuce. They've perked up, but you can tell the difference between these that have been outside in the cold and frost with these that were in the polytunnel that little bit longer, so it's worth holding back sometimes. So they're the Thompson and Morgan Shiraz, and then we've got different veggies there, and there's the Super Soil trial on that one. Thompson and Morgan Sugar Snap up the Oregon. Again, we just planted a few lettuce in. Those few straggly leaves need taking off, and then there's some chard, rainbow chard, and this one had the green manure. Bill and Val's Kent Blues. Knee Plus Ultra, and then Kelly's Oregon Sugar Snap Peas. And on this side we sowed some radish, my Sparkler 3 radish, the saved seed. And then on the opposite side it's the Real Seed Mystery Mix, and hopefully you can see them all popped up there. Now this is a second showing of the Sugar Snaps from Thompson and Morgan, and like I said, we need to be patient sometimes. Another bed with green manure. These are the Golden Gourmet. Last year I did my first pickle onions and really enjoyed them, and here again is another situation where 1 year's seed I'll end up with 7 years weed, and I do need to support these. My Bunyard's exhibition, done half and half there, the trial, green manure, etc. And then we've got again gourmet shallot, so both here, both the same. We'll see how we go. Another bed there with green manure, ready to receive something that's probably not quite ready yet. My long roots will climb the ladder and hold on for dear death. Hopefully you can see that. Most of them have all germinated now, so I should start thinning these out to the best ones. Best two for starters, and then the best one for the long roots. This timer has been an absolute godsend. It's set for 1 minute every 6 hours, and working really well. I don't forget to turn the water on, I don't forget to turn it off. Well worth it. The Bug Hotel, I noticed that a few of the holes are opened up now, and some are filling up, so it looks like we've still got lots of activity here. Built that very early on my allotment. I said I'd show you some of my mess. Oh dear. Recycle, recycle, repurpose. But please keep it tidy, Mr. King. There you go. I am a gardener. So pleased with this polytunnel. I wish I could have got it double skinned this time. I may still do, don't know yet. But look at the strawberries in here. These are the originals. All the rest you've seen on the other tour, plot 1, are the babies from this. So we've got some New Zealand spinach there. I plant my potato as I harvest them, and these are already growing. I need to harvest those. As I harvest them, I plant them. Some of the there's the one we trimmed up, and there's the one that's sitting next to it that we did a comparison with. I've got to get some radishes harvest. There's my best condor that didn't get affected, even though it was in the same place. Jerusalem artichokes are just showing their face, and that chard inside is growing better than all the others. We've even got the potatoes growing really well now that we planted earlier on. Some more of the giant carrots, some surplus brassicas there, some condor potatoes there that I can plant up, and another sowing of peas, pongos, etc. Ready for later on in the year. I'm letting the pak choy, the red pak choy, go to seed. Whether I'll get anything off them, probably not. Sunflowers down here, getting better, and as you can see, my giant Swedes, some of them, giant beetroots, some of them are actually going to seed. Probably started those too early. Steve's single seed potato challenge. Some of them have recovered. I will be patient because they may come back. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up, thumbs down for the interaction. Please leave me a comment. I'll reply to all the comments. And if you wish, consider subscribing to see what I get up to on my allotment. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.